A very good evening to you. Trust you are doing well. It's always a pleasure having you on the broadcast. Tonight we are asking, where is the society headed to? I've got Milkah Ndungu, who is a counselor and a family therapist by profession, to help us make sense of the current events going on in the society. You can weigh into this conversation by tweeting me directly at my Twitter handle, Kagunda Kelvin. The hashtag is The Perspective, and this is what you can expect. A very good evening to you, Milkah. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure having you on board.
Thank you.
Let me give you opportunity to say hi to our viewers.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm grateful to be in this session today, and I'm happy and I'm looking forward even for when we continue in deliberating of the issues. And thank you so much, even seeing a sense of calling me. I'm very much ready and I'm happy. And I call upon everyone, just stop whatever you are doing. Please give us those few minutes. And I believe at the end of it all, it will be very educative. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome.
Yes.
A lot has been happening in the society, the church, the homes, and also our schools. Everywhere is unbearable. How did we get here as a society that we are witnessing too much in the country?
Okay. There are so many things or determinants of whatever is happening. And maybe we can elaborate. There are so many things which are happening. We have the drug issue, we have the story of gayism, we have so many issues on the ground, and especially for the young people that we want to address today. And if we can begin, it's a journey. We normally say life is a journey. And even if the repercussion we are seeing as if it is the same, that people are involving themselves in a lot of drugs, that people are engaging in gayism and all that. But I believe everybody has a story to tell, and people come from somewhere. There are those people who suffer a very bitter childhood stage, and they have a story. And maybe in one way or the other, they didn't find anyone to help them out, or maybe even to listen to them. There are those who are looking for that attention, they didn't get anyone. And now when they settle in maybe peer pressure or peer group, where they are giving a lot of attention, you see now those people, they are easily deviated on those ways. And that is the reason why I'm saying there are so many things. There are those who just normally get there because of, the stage they are in, and especially the younghood. It has a lot of energy, the hormones are operating, are at work, they want to experiment everything. They feel as if whatever we were hidden by our parents, and especially for those who grew in a Christian family, they feel whatever we were hidden, we need to discover. What is this? And you find now they are exploring. So, it's the result may be the same, but the root is not the same.
It's not the same.
Yes.
Speaking of which, you've mentioned a very thorny issue in the society of homosexuality, and we are witnessing it in schools, in secondary schools. Rarely do we discuss this issue. We always bury our heads in the sand. What is making homosexuality so rampant in schools?
Okay, I don't know whether maybe this is how we are created. People feel very anxious whenever something new is brought in the market. People feel very anxious. We want to know what is this. How do we feel about this? And this is one of the things that our children, our adolescents, they are running to, because they want to discover. And remember, this is a stage where we normally say they're in their discovery. They want identity. They want now, where do I belong exactly? How do I want to look like? So the reason why issues like the gayism, the homosexuality, the lesbian is catching up in this society, it's because the major, the bigger percentage, it's because of the peer pressure. But there are those now hidden issues, as I have said, about the childhood, bringing up. There are those girls who grew in a family where their fathers are very brutal, where their fathers are totally drunkard, they are less concerned in their lives. And you find these girls growing telling themselves that I will not need any man in my life. You know, men are evil, men are, you know, and especially when they witnessed very chaotic situation when their mother was bringing up them in the presence of the father. So you find these girls now, when they are like confused now where to settle, someone else is coming and saying, don't worry, this is the direction. And you find now these girls, they are getting to that direction. Now the problem is, because they will be given the permission now to recruit many. So many will come, not because their families were broken, not because they were raped when they were young, but because they want to experience. Even for the boys, they feel, you know, my mother was careless, my mother was drunkard, and you find them saying, I don't want to marry. And especially, let me tell you, family is very important. Family is the core. And we normally say this is the oldest institution. And it is the core of every, you know, every product. So if the family is totally broken, I'm telling you, the bigger society also break. So many of them, if you sit down with them, me being a counselor, I normally sit down many of the time with young people, and what you get many times, it's about the family issues. So that is the mainly
reason why it is on the rise. Speak to us, because I also know influence of pornographic materials has also been a cause of homosexuality. As a parent, and you are having a lady or you're having this boy who is involved in this pornographic, how do you control that as a parent? Or what advice would you give a parent watching and his or her child has been battling with pornographic materials?
Allow me to admit our fault as parents. Because now, when we talk of these gadgets, these are gadgets that some of us, we didn't understand them, or we didn't know what is entailed in them. And also we didn't have skill. You know, when you give someone a new thing, you need also to help someone with the skills on how now to use it. But for us, we are like, unaitisha simu, unataka ukua kama every other person, nyinyi mapias mnaongea, basi shika hii simu. And some of us, the parents, we feel we have the money, so why should I deny my kid an opportunity to have the phone? But now, really, when do we sit down and talk about now what is in that phone? You know, anything, you know, there are so many things that they're in that phone, but we don't talk about them. So that is one failure, and I admit, as parents, we don't talk about it. Number two is that we feel as if it's a no-man, it's a bad domain. We cannot talk about anything to do with the sex. The sex issues cannot be, you know, spoken in the
broad daylight.
Yes. And again, we feel now, you know, we are very senior in our children. We don't want now even for them to know, to maybe to get it to us that hata nyinyi mnajua mambo na sex. So that is also another failure. And out of that, now we leave our children to the peers, and automatically, kama vile nimesema, everybody is very anxious. Kwani hii phone iko na nini? Ebu ni open, ebu nione ni nini iko nayo. Oh, and when we talk things to do with pornography, you know, this is something that triggers emotions. Na kila mtu anapenda hizo emotions ziwe triggered without even minding the future repercussion to it. So unapata kila mtu ana, you know, the watoto wanaona hii ni kitu inanifurahisha. I just want to feel, you know, and again, you know, it is communicating because the brain is capturing, and every communication of the body is getting along. So that is where the challenge comes in. I wish we have a platform where before the phone is given, and especially to young people, we have a forum where some education is given. And also, they are being warned or maybe told that everything you do, it has consequences. So we have the short term, we have the long term, in order for them at least to understand. Yeah.
Maybe I can bring this point to you so that I can get a better understanding or your perspective. Should our schools have a setup or come up with counselors to address these issues?
Actually, that is the best ground ever. That is the best ground ever. Because where we live, I meet young people, if it is not in schools, if it is not in church also. So these are forums which are very important. Because as much as we are equipping our children with education and with the knowledge, but also when they lack the social skill, how will they survive? And therefore, we need to have such forums. And I think also the government can do something, because now the schools are crying because of lack of money, enough money, and especially now with the budgets, with the economy and all that, the crisis is all over. So if only the government can see the sense before these children now, you know, involve in those crimes and so bad things, I believe it can be a better thing. I agree 100%. Yes.
Moving on, the society has also experienced a spate of femicide cases. We've recently heard of many girls in universities who have been killed because of love relationship. Why is it that these cases are on the rise, and as a counselor, what can we do to prevent?
All right. I always tell myself, people have a story to tell. And when you see someone, a creature moving on the road, you know, there are those hidden things that we cannot interpret and we cannot tell unless this person talk it out. Allow me, when we talk of femicide, there is that part of the young people, and also again in the marital perspective. Yeah, because spouses are killing each other. Allow me first of all to begin with the spouses. Where you see a man is killing the wife or even the children and so. And there are those people who are good in piling. You know, something happened today. My husband has ignored me. My husband is not providing. My wife abused me yesterday. My wife, you know, she had an affair with another man. My husband had this. And you find someone piling, you know. It's like, I internalize this. I internalize this one. And whatever now the person is piling, it is, you know, that is fire. It is fire. So it will come a time that this fire will no longer be contained, and this is how it bursts. And you find also people, they are not good in sharing, because I always encourage someone, please talk out, share whatever is disturbing you. And when someone doesn't talk it out, anakaa tu anaona, mi afadhali nikufe na watoto wangu wakufe, huyu mwanaume tumwache. So that one becomes very bad. When we go to like universities, as you have said, there are so many determinants of the same, so many determinants. We cannot now come and give only one answer to it, because there are those who feels like now in university, when a young man now, you know, request a lady, a young girl, to maybe to be a good friend, or maybe they have a relationship, you find it's like, I own you, I own you. You are not supposed to laugh with anybody, you are not supposed to speak to anybody, you know, wewe ni wangu. Na anasahau, this is a journey. Because we normally say, when we talk about relationship, it's a journey. Begin by being friends, then go and relate, then date, then go to engagement, then go to courtship, before now you reach to the climax. But now these young people, they feel you don't have to laugh with any other person. So akiona kama anacheka na mtu fulani, maybe huyu anaitwa Kelvin, anacheka na yeye, huyu kile anafikiria ni kwamba hawezi niacha, afadhali ukufe hakuna ama tukufe sisi wawili. So those are some of the determinants. Na kuna zingine bado, kuna wale wanafili ya kwamba me am married and the girlfriend I have si amejua ya kwamba mimi niko married ama amepata mimba yangu and I don't want my family to know. So you find the people, they are so evil. So anaona now the only thing I can do and I don't want my family to know, it's just to terminate the life of this girl. Very unfortunate. So you know, such things. Wengine wanaingia kwa virabu kudrink, kukunywa na unapata huko wameanza kukerereshana and all that. Unapata mwingine ameua yule mwingine out of nothing. So yeah, there are so many determinants of the same.
Great insight to hear from you. Could this be the tipping point where we discuss, are our children taught how to deal with rejection? Most of the boy child, is he taught how to deal with rejection? How does that got to do with parenting?
Okay. Many other times we normally cry for the boy child. Before I talk about whether he's taught to deal with the rejection. Even before he's rejected, to some extent, also most of the young men, they rejected themselves. You find even them talking about it and saying, sisi boy child tumesahaurika, sisi I don't know whether you have ever met these men. Unapata kuna wale wanakaa karibu na virabu, wanakaa tu hapo nje, anagojea maybe ifunguliwe ama maybe apate 20 bob ndio aingie. Na unapata this man anakuja anakuambia naomba 20 nipe chwani, nipe hivyo. And ukianza kuongea na yeye, you know, how did you learn it now to hear? Unasikia unajua ni hii stress, sisi hata tuko rejected. Sasa mimi nakuanga na stress. And my question to some extent I ask myself, for real, is it only you who have stress? How comes the ladies, hata kama kuna ladies wale wanakunywa, lakini majority of the men, young men, ama old men pia, ndio wanakuaga huko kwa virabu. Kwani wale wa mama, ni wao hawapatagi stress. Kwa nini wao wanaona wakipata stress tu waende wakunywe? So when we talk of rejection, number one, allow me to speak to every young man and also a man figure. Beginning with you, because you are a man. Yes. And say this, men, you are great people, even according to the Bible. You are an image of God, and you have power because God gave you power. So love yourself so much. You are the priests. You know, you are great people. So love yourself so much. And whenever you are in a moment where you say, I'm feeling low, I'm cold, I'm not happy, just rise up and tell yourself, I will make it. You know, it's only for today, but I'm making it. Because men, before we encourage you, before we tell you that you are man in becoming, you need first of all to rise up and tell yourself so, because you are a great person. The other thing, when we talk of men, whether they are being taught on how to handle rejection, you know, a man, hata katoto kalikuwa kanapigwa na mam, akikaambia, we ni mwanaume haliagi, we acha hiyo machozi, nini, we jikaushe kama mwanaume. Ukipatana na msichana saa hii, amechelewa na uko nje, the parents are every now and then, hello, umefika wapi, mko na nani, uko safe, nini na nini. Lakini when it comes to a man, it's like kama uri, you know, huyo team atakuja newa ego kinya. So you find now there is no tension when it comes to a man. So they were not well oriented on how now to be very strong or even how to handle rejection. But they can can also taught themselves that whenever rejections comes, we need to keep strong. I think it's the inner. Let them develop, develop the inner muscle that I need to be strong, regardless of the situation. I need to be very strong, because now a man, we look up unto you. Yes, and a man in a society, you are expected to be the provider, because you are like God. God is a provider. You also, you need to be a provider. So even though I'm not saying this not to pin this man, because we need also to encourage him. He's a human being. He has emotions. And also he feels, he feels like everyone is like not understanding me. We need to understand that in one way or the other, even their graph inaenda chini, ikiinuka. So we need also to be there for them. At least we motivate in order for the strength that is within ndio sasa iweze kutoka. Yes.
And a lot has also facilitated to that. Mental health, we have seen it being a big problem in the country. Like for now, Kenya is ranked second in Africa among the country with the highest people with depression, and 9th in the world. From your point of view, or as a counselor, why is depression taking a heavy toll in the country as for now?
Okay, let me tell you, Kevin, there are those things that we will never avoid in this world. We normally say this is out of hand. Like now when we talk of economy, when we talk of the price of the petrol, when we talk of the price even in the shops, it is beyond us. It is beyond us. And when we talk of climate changes, it is beyond us.
And also COVID-19.
And also COVID-19. It just found us. We didn't even know how it came. We were just, it was announced to us that it is there and you need to close everywhere. So, in this life, the circumstances, we will never control them. But I believe this is a wakening up call for everyone, that I need now, me personally, now to rise beyond the circumstance. Because the reason why people are so much depressed, and the reason why depression now is, it's like the percentage you have talked about, the statistic. Because now when things come, we are like so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. Much is expected from me, yet I'm receiving little, very. So we need to tell ourselves, yes, circumstance will be there, but I need to keep on telling myself, I will soldier on. It doesn't matter what. I will soldier on. And I believe in myself, and I will make it. Because now this is where now the believers live by faith, not by sight. And let us become prophets of our own. Tusiwe watu wa kujikas. Because even the leaders, utasikia wao wanapata mapato ya juu sana. Nyinyi mko kule tu chini. When you are waiting for them to create for more jobs, they are like, for them, they are very contented because they have whatever they needed to have. So when you keep on like, you are feeling so angry, you are offended. Unajua, at the end of the day, you are the one to be affected. So I'm just telling people, like at times we normally tell people it's not so serious. It's not so serious. Yeah, take things as they come and work with whatever you have. That kidogo uko nayo, just do whatever you are needed to do. And the rest unaambia God, me, I'm waiting for you. At the same time, wale wako na, if you have capability of doing something, just rise up and do. Kama wewe uko na kashamba kako, simama, igia huko kwa shamba, pada kile unapada. Kama wewe uko na kabiashara, kale unaona katashika, just rise up and do something. Because now, if we sit here, na tuanze serikali, saidia, serikali, at the end of the day, serikali bado iko kule, wao wanakula na wanakunywa na wanaendelea. So we need to rise up and do what is necessary, what is pertained for us to do. And that is the only way out that we can fight depression. Because the numbers, as you are saying, the numbers are very high. And the ranking of our country, you have heard where it
Second
is.
in Africa.
Yes, second in Africa. That is very pathetic. But ujue ni numbers tu, hata huku ni numbers tu itaabianwa, lakini wewe utaremain hapo tu na depression yako. So the best thing, we ngangana tu vile unaweza fanya ile part yako, hiyo ingine wewe you leave it to God and the government, and you know, sababu tunawaachia as we pray, because I believe we are Christian, even our viewers are Christian, and or they are believers in one way or the other. Yeah. So it's all about now, how will I, what is this I'm internalizing, and how will am I taking issues, the crisis and issues on the ground. Yeah.
Milkah, for the better part of this week, parents will be taking their children back to school, and you can see how delighted they are that we are taking our children back to school, watoke nyumbani. When they go to school, they flout the rules there. The teachers are not happy with them. It's always a blame game. Parents are not doing their part. The school is not doing their part. The church should chip in. The government should do this. What's happening in the country? Who should own this responsibility?
Thank you so much. Sometimes I see our children becoming very confused, and especially when now they are thrown like a ball. Ni nyinyi, it's you, and all that. The very first responsibility is for the parent. You know, that is where the roots are. Now, Joy, even if the tree is so big, the root matters. The root matters a lot. Because the weed will be, you know, we will be experiencing weeds and storms. So, but what matters is the roots. And that is the reason why we normally tell the parent that you have the bigger responsibility. Remember, for the teacher is waiting for the parent, for the kid to teach. But not to train or even nurture. But the biggest work is with the parent. So the parent, whatever you are doing, tunasema ya kwamba our children, they don't operate with what we tell them. They operate with what they see. So what am I doing as a parent? You know, what is this I'm telling my kid? What are these words that I'm telling my child? Because huyu mtoto kama amechukua yale maneno mazuri aende nayo shule, it will not be easy for the kid to atolewe what ako nayo. And again also, I keep on telling the parents that we need to have a very good relationship with our children. Na sisemi ya kwamba wale wamepotea ni wazazi hawakuwa karibu. No. In all this, we trust in God that our children will make it, because God will see them through. But all in all, we need to keep a very close relationship with our children. Because the moment we are very close, they will be very open to us. And you will know when your kid is, you know, anapotea, you know, ama maybe anakosea, you will know, because the kid will feel very much open to tell you everything. And that is where now we counsel our children. That is where now we put everything on the table and we talk about everything. So as much as also the teacher has his or her part, but the very great role is with the parent and also the society at large. But mzazi mwenyewe, that is where mizizi iko ya muhimu sana. Yeah.
The very great role is with the parent. It is unfortunate because some parents don't have time for their kids. Anatoka saa 11 atarudi. Mtoto alitoka shule, amekuja akafanya homework akalala. They don't see each other eye to eye. How do we address this disconnect between parents and their kids?
It's okay. Sometimes it is a bit difficult to strike the balance because I need my kid to eat well, to drink well, also to pay for, you know, all the necessities and all that. So I know it is not easy, but we normally say, in all this, can we create what we call quality time? Quality time for our children. Because kila mtu, everybody is born with a vacuum. A vacuum of I belong. Am I loved? Do I have someone who is so much concerned with me? And this is an emotional thing that cannot be fed by material things. So as much as we are looking for material things, we are paying a lot of money in order for our children to be in the best school. We are budgeting a lot in order for our children to eat and to drink well. But there is what we call the main thing here, that emotional connection. Because of that vacuum, you find a parent is leaving a kid of 2 years. Anakuja anamnunulia tu cartoons twingi sana, twingi ya kwamba huyu mtoto hata boeka. But we have what we call the motor skill. Ile ya kwamba haijegwi na hizo cartoon, mtoto ataona yenyewe. Lakini remember that vacuum. Vacuum haiwezi jazwa na cartoons. Vacuum inajazwa na me and you. We are here together. We are praying together. We are running here together. We are singing together. We are cooking together. Washing dishes together. So it's very important. And many of the kids even get very much confused because now they are being brought up by different girls. We have the house helps and we are happy because of the house help because wanatusaidia. But what is this house helps instilling in these kids? Some of them they are very brutal. Others they are so nice. Hata mtoto wako ukikuja hana kazi na wewe because now it is very warm whenever she's or he's with the house help. He feels very warm. But the question is, will you lose your kid in the name of the house help? So it is very important to create quality time. There is a style I call Kagaru style, where Kagaru anakuanga na kamfuko kasak na anaweka mtoto wake hapo, and especially akisensa danger mtoto huu na anamweka hapo na Kagaru anarun na mtoto wake. So what happens to us? Do we have time to listen to our kids, at least to know whether there is danger or not? Or even to understand whether our kids, they need something to know from us, and maybe they need us. They need, they have that trust in their mom, in their dad. So are we there in order to pick our kids, put in that sack? Tunapotea na wao na tunawapea what we call an attention. And I don't know whether you have ever heard a story of this kijana. Yule alikuwa anaona daddy yake alikuwa very busy. Mchana, usiku, daddy very busy. Mpaka akamwambia, daddy, kwani how much are you paid for that 1 hour? Me, I need to pay you for that 1 hour. So that one tells you the vacuum. The vacuum is like now crying and crying loudly. Yeah.
And when there is poor parenting, that will definitely lead to poor performance in school.
Automatically. You know that when we talk of performance, we talk of now the brains, the relaxation of the brains. But when the brains are not relaxed, they are like confused, like what we are saying. They are confused, they are worried, they are anxious, they are like, all those sorts of feelings. You find now the child cannot connect with the teacher because the brain needs to relax in order for it to be alert. So if home is not at peace, everywhere is not at peace. So even the brain is not at peace. There is what we say, the brain produces some hormones. So we have when the brain is at peace, we have what we call the happy hormones. There are several, actually there are 4 of them. They are there. Happy hormones. Now when someone is very happy, connects everywhere, and everything inajiadika, inajishika kabisa. But now when the child is not happy, is anxious, is worried and all that, So the brain now produces some hormones or that water chemical, we call it cortisol. It disorganized everything, disorganized, even the functionality, it is disorganized. So you find now the child cannot even get anything because now there is imbalance, a very high imbalance, and especially the level of the cortisol that is being produced from the brain. It matters whether the balance now will be so high, so different. Yeah, so yeah, that is the reason why you hear if home is not at peace, if home is not warm, the production also goes. Yes.
Yeah. Before we came on air, we were discussing on the styles of bringing up children. We have 4 types of parenting. We have the permissive style, rejection style, dictatorial style, democratic style, and you'll all know what they mean. What kind of parenting would you advise a viewer watching us on how to bring up a child?
Automatically, what is bringing democracy? Because everybody has a right in that home. As much as you are the father, as much as you are the mother, everybody has a right. That kid also, however young he or she is, has a right to be heard, has a right to be given a chance or a platform to exercise her feelings or his feelings. And when we talk of democracy, we talk of where you are not a dictator. The reason why parents and children disconnect and lose each other, it's because I'm the biggest here. Mimi ndiye kusema. As much as ni mimi na provide, si mkate mnakula wangu. Si ni mimi nalipa school fees. Si ni mimi nafanya ABCD. So it's now, yes, ni mimi.
The highway.
Yes, so ni mimi kusema. That one you lose your kid. For that moment, watakaa hapo na wewe because they don't have any other option. But a time will come when now they will get option. What they will do, they will be reserved. Yes, they are there, you are seeing them, but they will feel the information they have, whatever they wanted to share with you, they will be reserved with that information. Lakini wakipata a platform where they will now be accepted, watashare regardless of the platform. And that is where our children now get lost. Maana wanaenda sasa kushare kwa wale watu ambao wanawapoteza, sababu wanamwambia hata ukivuta haka uko sawa, hata ma stress yote inaisha. Hii hata ndio the way out, ile tuna deal na stress nayo. This is the stress management skill. So mtu anaanza kuvuta kawid sababu anasikia na anaona wanacheka, wanachagamka pamoja, wanapiga ma story. Lakini kwa wakifika you don't have power of talking. So ananyamaza hivi. So unaona huyo mtoto lazima atatoroka. So what we always advise the parents, let's have that freedom. Give your kid the freedom. After all, hauko na huyo mtoto for so long. Hauko na yeye for so long. Because 2022 hapo ikifika 23, huyo mtoto ameanza, unajua amepata mabawa. Already ameanza kupaa sababu amepata kazi sijui wapi, ako Eldoret, ako wapi. So you need to take advantage of that very little period of time that you have. You need to take advantage and bring your kid closer to you. Let your kid not fear you. So be very democratic. Listen to them. When you feel hii hapa haijaenda vizuri, in a very good way, you'll be in a position now to correct. But not ile ya kusema unaona mudhia wake, ni kama ile sasa umeanza kujudge. By the way, we as parents, we are not supposed to judge. We are supposed to listen and also to help. So ile inaleta democracy, that is the best way out. Yeah.
These issues are very much with us, and they will be going to be with us even as we progress on. Do you believe that lack of leadership that addresses or lack of leadership that is aware of these emerging trends such as depression, teenage pregnancies, and how we address them as the society, church, or parents is the reason why we are making the situation even more worse than it is?
Thank you so much. Partly, I agree. And also there is another part. And allow me to begin with, I agree partly. because as we are, as I'm saying once again, we are the roots of everything. So even the way we see like our children now having a dress code, I need now to, sensitize and let the children know, apana, iyo guo inaonyesha tumbo. Apana, that is not the right way. And again also, as the way we dress, also it talks a lot. So we as parents, we have a great role. But on the other note, remember now, this is an era where the exposure is now taking the whole mantle. Like now young people, as I'm telling you, in their age of adolescence or puberty, they are looking for identity. These are the times they want, whenever they hear a certain celeb, kama ni wa nyimbo zake wanazitaka. So unapata watu wanaanza kutaka sasa kuwa kama yeye.
Easily influenced.
So anavaa aje, nywele ameshuka. Hata kama ni mwanaume ameishuka kiasi. Hapa vile anavaa ni kama earrings, nini. So unapata these people, young people, they want to identify with that person because of, ni kama now, it's like now the self-communication that when I dress like this person, when I react like this person, na mimi pia nitajifeel ni kama niko hai, nitajifeel pia ni kama yeye. So unapata now the person anataka ku-imitate this person. So also that one imechagia a lot. And that is the reason why unaona kuna wale wana watch some of the movies zile wanataka nao ku-practice. I don't know whether you remember, there was a case where kijana aliamka na akaua the whole family, almost the whole family. Now, when now that information was very much researched, unasikia maybe some of those things, ni maybe kuna vile alikuwa anawachi, kuna vile alikuwa anawachi. So that is also another challenge. So I feel also, I go back to the parents, that we need also to get interested on what is this our children love very most, what is this that they are watching. Anajifugia kwa nyumba for 2 good hours, for real, na si kusoma anasoma, kwani ni nini hii ana watch. And I feel if you become a very good friend of your kid, you are in a position even to understand ni nini yako nayo, in order for you to help. So I feel partly parent, partly also the exposure.
I also need to get back to the point of depression, because expectations and setting realistic expectations and how to deal with them if they don't come to the actualization. Because you hear of a young man, he graduated, 2 years, no job, he kills himself. As a counselor, how would you advise the viewers on how to set the expectations and how to deal with them if they don't materialize?
All right. Whatever gives us a driving force is the expectation. Because I believe in every field that you engage in, you have the expectations of that field. And it is okay to have expectation. But what is not okay is when you put it in a way that it must come true. It must happen like this. And that is what now gives someone depression. Or even there is this maybe a young person who went into a certain field because of maybe the information he or she was given by somebody else. Unajua hii kazi haikosagi. Unajua hii hata ukifanya wewe maliza. Hizi ma certificate utafanya ABCD. Kuna wale hata maybe anaona because my father anafanya hii sector. Najua hata mimi nikifanya hii course, my father, I won't struggle. My father is there for me. My father will connect me. Yes, it is assured because now my father is there. But maybe the strategy is there. unapata by the time unamaliza they are very tight. And as much as your father is there, but kuna place hawezi hata yeye goga ama maneuver because of the strategies. So there are those also, you know, how did you landed into that field also matters a lot. How you landed. And I feel for the people who achieve in their field, they are those people who are very passionate. Yani, they are not doing it because of those connection or money or anything. They do it passionately. Na hiyo passionately inawapata tu kwa barabara. Na wanakuja kutambulikana because of their passionate. So what I can say, everyone and especially those now who are pursuing their courses, what I can tell them is that let them know, yes, things will be well, things will be well, but also wasiwe focused na one thing only, ya kwamba mimi nitapata white collar job. Wakae wakijua, in any case, I think also I can implement something here. I can begin something here. Because they need to also to be very creative, very flexible. Yeah, so in order for them not to be killed by depression. Yes.
The other thing is you spoke about influence, and we are all seeing social media is becoming a buzz. Everyone wants to trends. Where is this pressure of faking life on social media coming from?
Number one, we love social media because this is a very big platform and it can take you to the higher levels and connect you with so many people. And we really appreciate even the mind that came up with the social media. Very important. And as much as we condemn some of the things that are happening, we are very grateful for the social media. But on the other way, there is what we call the competition. And this is what is killing people. You know, unataka hata watu wakutabue. Na wale wengine wanataka sasa kucompete na wewe. Najipiga hii selfie, niko sijui wapi, nimeenda beach hii, niko hivi, niko na hii gari, hii nyumba, and all that. Naye mwingine anataka na yeye pia ajione hapo. Number one, people are looking for fame. Ni ama Kikuyu. There is a saying inasema wakahareri akwiriagie thagumo. And for those people who are going after fame, fame inaweza maliza mtu. Maana akirusha hivyo ndio apate fame. Kama hatapata response nyingi ama watu wamtabue vile alikuwa anataka kutabuliwa, number one, hata depression inamshika. Unaona? Haya, number two, mwingine anataka sasa ina competitions. Tulikuwa tunasoma na yeye. Amejipata kwa TV aje. Amejipata kwa hiyo position aje. Hata na mimi nitangangana nijaribu. So unapata, it's not about now what he want to give the society. Lakini ni ile competition. My friend, if we begin to compete with other people, I'm telling you, tutahema ile baya sana. And life can be very hard for us. But we need to go with our pace and to give what we can offer. And also to be contented with whatever I have today. Yes, today I can go up to this mileage. And I'm happy for it. And I'm not here to compare myself with Kevin. Because I don't know even the sacrifices Kevin have done. I don't know even ile hasara. Ama maybe what you have, maybe uko pia na loan. Ndio uweze kuwa na ako ka biashara vile uko nayo. But I just want to find myself there. And even, ndio unapata hata hawa wasichana, wanaenda kwa hawa baba. Hawa wababas, wanawaweka. Sababu mtu anajua hapa tu ni kupewa, ndio niwe nafaa na washida wote, ni mimi niko juu, nini. Lakini at the end of the day, you find these people, they are becoming very frustrated. Yeah, so me, what I can say, let us be very contented with what we have. Yes. Yes.
The indifferences between the parents, how does it affect children in schools or in their well-being, the indifferences in parents?
Very bad. Very bad. Actually, if there is something I can say not to appear in front of children, is what you are calling indifferences. Remember, when we talk of parents, for the children, they love you both. You know, they love you both, unless one parent aingie katikati agawanyishe kuonyesha hawa huyu ni wa maana, huyu si wa maana. But for the kids, they love you both. And now when you begin now to throw words in their presence, when you begin even to fight in their presence, the children automatically, they will, you know, they will, it's like a shock, number one. Then the children, they will be confused. Now, who to rescue, who not to rescue. And they will be very confused. Alafu hao watoto nao wataanza sasa kugrow na fear. Mtoto ameenda shule. Kai, what if my dad, sababu nilimwacha bado na mama, maybe amemgoka vibaya. What if my mama amethrow sijui nini kwa my dad? Sasa daddy, maybe ndivyo anakunywa sana. What if, you know, now you can imagine that fear. And if that fear now manifest somewhere, it grew with that kid. And na ile kitu ime manifest, when it grow with that kid, I'm telling you, now it needs a real therapist like us to come and sit down, and it's a process. So it's a very bad thing. It instills fear in the children. It brings anxiety in children, confusion, and also worry. And also, you know, they can also develop now to be a health issues. So pale unasikia, I don't know whether you have had even hysteria, where mtoto anaaguka tu without anything, si mgonjwa. Wengine wanaanza kukua na tumbo ni kama inajaa maji, constipation, hajui afanye nini, asas, you know. And even it can lead even to stroke and even hypertension. So it is a very bad thing. Yeah.
Those indifferences in parents make the children go out sourcing for information from other people in the society, strangers. How can you advise a youth who is watching us and is undergoing negligence from parents or trauma or have been sexually abused? Because also accessing therapists and counselors is very expensive. It's not very easy. How do you advise her? What process, or how does she navigate? How does she or he navigate through that process?
Okay. As I told you that life has that vacuum that I want to feel I belong. And for a young person who is facing all that, the rejection and all that, number one, you can't force your parent to love you. If your parent has decided to abandon you, you know, you can't force your parent to love you or even to show you that you are this important person. You can't force. But now, there is the bigger society. You have the family, even the larger family. And maybe in that family, there is one uncle, there is that one elder in that church, near church. There is that man in that family that you normally see. This is a very understanding man. Pick someone. Pick that lady that you can feel very comfortable in. Go and sit down with that person. Talk out your issues. Let her understand. Let him understand. And I believe because you will do your calculations very well, this is a person who can tell you, yes, I open up my arms for you. Please come and I'm here for you. And if there is something nice, is when you have someone who walks the journey with you. Because life is a journey. And I'm telling you, people can get so exhausted. This is the reason why you find people, they are so stressful, because they are exhausted, because there is no one who is tapping their back and telling them, you will make it. Keep on walking. Keep on going. Yes, you have the right, you know, such. So it is very important to walk, to look for someone who is understanding. Please don't die alone. Don't die alone. Yes, even if therapist is expensive, yeah, look for someone who is near you. And there are so many young people actually. They have their mentors. As much as they have their parents, but now they have their mentors, and those guys, they walk with them. Yes.
Well, very lively conversation here with Milkah Ndungu, who is a counselor by profession. Great insights. Hope you are learning something. You are taking your notes there. We are due for a short break, but Milkah, now we need to put the English aside. Now we need to bring in our mother tongue, because the next part we are getting into ni uhoro uria wi kirima-ini wa njohi cia kurebia na arume gukua me in the line of duty. Ndio gutwira niki kiratuma makue me in the line of duty, ni maregete kwengia na atumia ao, marenda tutu tunini, na cio njohi gathukia anake aitu anini. Ni turacokereria thutha wa kahinda kanini. Thank you muno mwirori ni undu wa guthi na mbere kunyitanira na ithu thiini wa ndereti eno na Milkah Ndungu. Tugukorwo tukiaririria uhoro wa njohi urogi iria koretwo gikuyu-ini na ni iratua na kitu tugege tondu kwi ndawa nyingi muno irahuthirwo. Milkah, kwi ndawa nyingi muno irahuthirwo, na taru ndi kuria icera ria mucii ndiraiguire kwina njohi iretwo munyondoro. Njohi yo ngimenyua kuma haha nginya haria gate-ini ndungithie utaturitie maru, ni gukunina hinya gia biu. Na kwina ingi iretwo ucinioje, irahakwo bangi-ini akamegucia igacokeka wonage mundu aikarite uguo gacoka ukona thiriru muko rimwe. Njohi ici ci gikuyu-ini na muno muno guku Mount Kenya ri ni gututhukiria nake. Na wita mutarani ri ungienda kwira ruriri ati uhoro wigi njohi ici?
Akorwo gwi kindu kina kiriro kinene muno ni njohi. Na gwiciria matuko maya ni maria meragwo atiriri ati mundu areterera thome na riake. Tondu our worry ni ati kamwana karia gatambitie kunyua ri o gakionaga uria mama we anyuire agithia twikite mundu tuhu na mundu kagegete uguo rauga ri kamwana kau ri ugakora ni gatoboka kuo. Na rimwe ni tui maundu mangi hihi tungimaria no ri tuwiho hihi mangi no makirehe kurania ciuria nyingi. No tarora family nyingi ciagia na magongona no nginya njohi ikorwo kuo. Mwana ni abatithirio, mwana ni atonyirio kigongona-ini, no twainuka mucii twaria ri no nginya tunyue, tondu no nginya athuri magitwire matagithuri na ndigukirega. No riri njohi ino yaigirirwo uguo riu metha iguru to ni ya igongona ri ikanyuo nginya ni kahii karia ge class 7 ni karia ge class 8 niki gikugiria kahii kau na ge class 6 gathi gacemania nayo handu hangi gakaigua gatikwenda gucama to ni gagicamire iria ni yakihetwo ritwa riega gaitwo muratinai. No riu umenye gagithie gucama iria ngiri gagathio koyo njohi no njohi kuguo gage gakora ni munyondoro ri karathie gagituragia maruri ona gatiramenya. Na nikio urona ona na keitu thutha wa ihinda inini muno mweri umwe mieri iri mundu ucio ni atwikire kindu tuhu ni atwikire riu kagege kau urauga tondu andu nao ni magiire ukoroku wa besha. Mundu ucio uraruga njohi we ndari na bata na muoyo wa mwana uyu, ndari na bata na mwana uyu agatwika ki, ena bata na riri njohi ino ikirwo kindu gikurehe mung'aro wa ndagika na nuthu, akinya mucii akihuruka hanini uguo agacokera ingi. Riu uguo niguo kumukenia nigetha we agie na mbia nyingi atekwenda kumenya uhoro wa mwana. No ngauga atiriri ona ithuĩ twi society ni twaguo kwita kamucemanio ni twagiriire nigetha twiyuria atiriri niĩ ni ndaka nyumba ciakwa haria bara njega muno na nyumba icio ni ndoka ndorio ni mundu ngomborithia kirabu haha ngakiona to niĩ ni mbia ndirenda ri na mundu uyu ni anjira kirabu ni ekuriha wega ri ndirenda kumenya kana ikurehe njohi iria hihi ina mutugo itoika kuyo ina mutugo kana etari na mutugo kana ni anake aitura riu riakwa riothe ndathukia tondu anake othe maguthie hau. Na ndiwe kana ni we Kevin ngwire mwanake tocio no okia kurimire kana kwenjere mutaro haria umwire urenda kumuriha na thimu tondu ri mbia anake acio moitire namba ya kuurika kana kuwira fuine kuri uria we ona angimenya na namba yake ndamiui no tiru namba yaku amiui ta muthenya njikiria ku riu nigetha akiuma hau athia hiuhite amwirite no ana ritwa riroka mundu witagwo na icio mbia ni ciakwa riu nie ni njigiriire rehe gikombe rehe kina nie no njuge ona ithuĩ tũrakomborithia manyũmba mũndũ nĩ eyũrie kĩũria ndĩrakomborithia he hĩndĩ kũrekagwo research in county ĩmwe anga nĩ ya Kĩrĩnyaga maraugaga kwĩna irabu makĩria ya 200,000 irabu na magakiuga kũrĩithia twakĩhera license no ura imagine a whole county ina irabu 200,000 nĩ kuga gũtirĩ handũ hatarĩ na stopover ya njohi na nikio wonaga ona twathie na anake itu ona twathie mathiko tuthina guku karao tuthie ku mwanake ucio akiuma kirabu agikinya na hau uguo agicoka guka ni muriu no karigwa atiri kamari kinuhanuho we ona ndukuonete we ona ndukumenyete na andu acio mamenyanaga uu niki tondu nginya mwihumbire wao nginya muikarire wao ni aramenya ari wothe akina ngofu ona angikorwo imire Kiambu kana imire Murang'a ni aramenya ari wothe akina ngofu tondu riri ni tuheanire nyumba citu ni twaka ni twaneana ni itwike irabu buroti yaku no akomborithia andu uyu ni uramenya ni araruga njohi no nduri na thina no horo ucio ndirakwira eno ni haro yagereire kubaitwo ni society yothe na tungiuga na twamitigira thirikari hari iguru no ithuĩ twĩ gũkũ on the ground tutiraria na tutireka ũndũ eno haro no yage gũgathira tondu eno irenda kunyitanira nigetha riri nie ngurugaga njohi eno ri mucie gwakwa ri nyambe ndige kuruga tondu ona ngiko ni ngurugaga yo njega ri mwana uyu amenyua ri rucio ndoi in fact ri mwana tondu njohi ni githia kuria mothoni magithia na njohi gakiruto wiguaga thuri aria me hau mauga atiriri ni withue koutotire rutai njohi yothe mumenengere anake aria othe meguko anake aria maneo ni ariku ni mwanake uria wakwa ni mwanake uria wa muiru wakwa no ri ungi riu nginya iretu marakenyuira hau tondu riri mungigiuka mumanegenie mumori atia ni nyumukire nayo no riu ona irakineo nginya gutekwenda kumenywa niyo no ni yume na kuuwe ithie nyuo riu eno ni haro ya society yothe na nie ni ngwenda kwira anake itu please anake itu na muthikiririe na mana ni ngwenda kumwira ni future yanyu irethwo future yanyu na korwo gwi future ya bata ni future yanyu anake tondu riri mundurume uyu ri tuwo gikuwite mbeu niwe muhuri wa mbeu aga kuhura mbeu ri ona migunda ona ingithakara na igie na tiri munoru ri igugiciara ki tondu ri kiri ekuwite nie ni nguthaitha muno anake ndimere ati mundu riu ni ikie maitho na kabere na ha ni haria heragwo atiriri mundu riu ndathomaga na riake athomaga na riene please utanathie kumenyua ri ndwambe urore karugano karia manyuite wone uria meyakite wone kana ni kurungara marungarite wone kana ni ni miturire ya werathira nie no njuge tu anake na kurotwari uhoro wa counseling tumitware muno na primary levels tumitware kugwitwa na tutu twa primary nigetha ona tuo tutwire atiri nduthio hingurite maitho wone mama ucio wanyuire uria hana wone uria ungi wanyuire tuthie tukimaragiria otherwise njohi ni kindu kiuru na ni gia kunina na mundurume tondu ni ari mutwe mwega uria wi kiondo gikuwite mbegu ucio niguo urarorwo uyu thire tondu uyu niguo machini yothe ya mwiri mundurume mutwe wake ari uria ukuwite mbegu mutu ucio waga kukua mbegu icio ka mbegu icio cia ninwo ruriri rugathira na rwathira ri onayo warigia wiki tondu njohi ino no iracoka kuhania mara mundu nderia mundu ndenyua mundu ndari na bata wa muiretu tondu mwiri riu ndukiguthaga ringi na ni uwi riu ni irairagwo gitingi gia thitima atinirio haria transformer-ini riu ri mwiri uyu wakua ri ukire na bata wa muhikie ni mo emotionally anake ani makuite tondu brain iria iproducaga those hormones yothe riu ni njurage yoragwo ri mwanake gukienda mutumia megutwarana kunake na ndari undu angihota ndari mbeu angihanda riu ithe ndagituika almost useless nikio turamweta kagege ni atuika useless so please anake please gitirai kiondo kianyu kia mbeu
turaragia na mutangathi mwenzangu witagwo Nyox Wakata akanjira bururi uyu ni toremete aria mena iraoni aria mena irauni nio mabati gukorwo magituninira njohi no ni torona ona nio maramiendia mwao na nio maremete. Is it high time athuri aria me mucio aria a nyumba 10 manyitanire na masifu tuone kana ni tukugeria go control njohi ino?
Ni nguga atiriri, ruo ri rutiguanagirwo, ruo rutiri rwa iguanirwo. Nie ndina mwana wakwa, nie ndina mwana uria wa neighbor, mwana ucio anyua tuike kagege kau turauga ri aga kibau na 50 ya guthie kunyua ri eguka kuiya nguku ciakwa, eguka kuiya kwanura nguo ciakwa. Kuguo nie ngucafa na tungiaga kunyitana turi matura uguo turege maundu number 1 muthuri we orainuka mawi muri we na ciana cia rume ikwiroreire uguo wite kamucemanio wire riu uria mundu eragwo atiriri gia rukobe riu ugie rukobe nigetha ugie atiriri ino njohi ndikainukia gwakwa riu kwi handu hakinyaga ukauga atiriri riu ona niiri agona ni thoni tuikarite ite-ine imwe uguo tukinyua na ciana iria irareragwo haria riu irarigwo kai kunjita baba kana ikuikatia tuikanagiria ciugo uguo tukirumanaga tondu riria mundu akinyua ri you know no ihatikire na itio. So nie njuge atiriri please wewe muthuri ri wite kamucemanio na twage kwenda no waigire magongona mothe mathakaraga o riria kwagia njohi no waugire for real kai tutangitikira magongona maitu tunyue soda tunyue thufu tuthinjirei tunyue thufu you know indo icio njega tondu ona indo ici ciothe ri ucokaga gukora at the end of the day handu ha gutuma mundu agie na hinya ni hinya wa mwiri uraga tondu ona mara ni makunderire tondu nyamu iria ciikiritwo andu aria mararuga njohi na ni ngwenda kwira society andu aria mararuga njohi Kevin matire na wendi mwega wa ruriri na ni ruriri ruru marenda kunina na tareke ngwire undu umwe umakitie uthio na icirie no i haha no ukoraga arata itu aithiramu ni aingi muno ta thio karora na iguo kwi matuka maingi unjire hari ugakora rika unjire hari ugakora kirabu kirendio ati andu acio metikitie witikio ria metikitie naguo na moe matingi thukia matingi huthira indo icio njuru na nie no njuge atiriri ithue tukiria James ri ithue tukiria Peter ri ithue ni ithue tuihurire kirabu kai ithue twitikagia kai tunyitaga Ngai uturegeretie atia na ri korona tunyite Ngai uyu na hinya nigetha mundu ngi atiriri witikio wakwa ni unganitie tondu korwo ithuĩ othe twanyitana ũguo na twĩtikĩrĩre wĩtĩkio witũ tondu ici no ciana iria imwe tũtwarĩte kĩgongona-inĩ na ikorwo rũrũ rwa mũtharaba amwe makarindwo no nĩ wacio marorera njohi-inĩ korwo ithuĩ no twĩtĩkie ũrĩa mũithĩramu etĩkagia tondu mũithĩramu nĩ ngũririkana handũ tweragwo itũra rĩna atĩ itũra rĩu rĩothe cibũ oigaga niĩ gũkũ ona ngoragwo horeire mũno niĩ ndirĩ mbĩtĩka nĩkĩ tondu itura riri itheramu ni waiki riu koguo guko ndungikora kwina njohi ndungikora kwina matuhu tondu wa undu ucio so ni kwenda kuga atiriri ithue tuikare turi wa Kristiano aria turi a Kristiano tuikare turi a Kristiano no reke iturumie kirira gitu kia Ukristo na tweheranwo na maundu mau matari mega na tumenye njohi ni ya kunina tigwaka yakaga njohi ndiri yaka ni kunina nina
ana makene makinyua njohi thitima cia kiura na riu ni makiremwo ni wira nikio airitu ya rikaini ni maroyana na athuri na tondu athuri aya no matikire na mayuri ukaigua ni aragikuire in the line of duty arakorirwo arutite kihuyu ekuria lodging ni giconoko kihana atia na ungienda kwira iritu aria maratwirorera atia iguru wigie mitugo yo
riu hindi rio gukiuga magikwa me in the line of duty akiona ni gukire na blue pill na niko kau tondu muiritu uyu libido yake kana urugari wake wa mwiri wi iguru muno na no athuri kaingi matietikagia mundu akura tondu athuri matoire moe ni mamuthuri ariona hinya muthuri no aciare onena miaka 80 and I agree 100% no ni wega athuri mamenye atiriri ni urugari uria wari naguo wi mwanake tiguo wina miaka 50 na tiguo gukorwo naguo wathi 70 ona wathi 80 na hau hangi urugari ucio uthiaga ugicokaga thi ona kungikinya muthuri no atume mutumia agie mwana ona ari mukuru no urugari wake ihenya riria ari nario tiri waturaga nari na riu ha niho muthuri arathi akerwo riu ri karia kairitu kena bio muno tondu urugari wako wi iguru na koguo ni karabatarwo nawe ukorwo wina mayo haha niho muthuri arathi akauga riu ri over the counter tanengera ka blue pill kamwe nigetha ngikunde na muthuri wakunda ri nduririkane nginya system ciaku cia mwiri riu titoria ciathiaga tene already maundu mothe marathi macokete maikurukite tuga mundurume awakaga na hormone iria itagwo testosterone na riu ri hormone ino ri ithiete onayo ikiagaga hinya macini ici guthiaga na slow motion ri cioke uri muigambio hai niki gikugiria muthuri uri mwe thakame yake rugame tondu ririkane circulation ya thakame niwe tumaga macini ici ciike atia o rimwe muto thakame ino riu igwithia na slow motion ndi gugithiaga turia athia mundu e mwanake o rimwe kagucuranio nigethe tengere mundu akagia na heart attack na akarugama na mwiri muturire wake ugathira ni ngwenda kuga atiriri airetu aya marathie na thuri ni no njuge ringi na ringi ona maundu mangi gukiririria ni igai na ngikorwo ucio tiwe wari muthuri waku ni urona gutire na mwihoko ri andu ona ni magitiganaga ugaithio gakira ngai kihe uri wakwa uri utakeitanga na kuru kwahoteka ri ucio na cenjie ri the better tondu yo niyo tungienda muno makiria na ngiri athuri atiriri athuri mundu ni iganwa ni kirie nakio akorwo wena mutumia waku na ni mukuraniire ri muthie niho guthia oni uguo tondu gutengera kwa muthuri ri ni kwengea engea inake na ndugacemania na mathina maya otherwise ni wega korwo ona maundu mangi maria mundu ugaga mundu agie na witigiri wa mwathani tondu riu guthia arojini ugakoragwo kuu ri ni bica nayo ikiri na giconoko na ti undu kiri mwega no ihoya ni atiriri korwo anake amemenya mundu acoke micii na mundu iganu ni uri nake
ndiramenyithio mathaa maitu ni mathiru riu Milkah ni ngwenda gukuhe kanya uheane ciugo ciaku cia muico ugitwiraga ukoragwo ku na mundu angeku reach out social media handles ciaku na namba ya thimu ngitwe.
Alright. Thank you muno mwirore witu na thank you ni undu wa gukiririria na gututhikiriria muthenya wa umuthi. Ni kwenda kuga atiriri muturire ni waku ona ko wina aciari aku eri muturire ni waku na mathina maria ungicemania namo na korwo aciari ni mekuigua ruo kana family yaku no we ni wo gucafa ni ngiuga we mwenyewe wiyende maundu maria urona ni maraguthukiria cioneki ciaku to twiragwo turi aroti we are dreamers and we are go getters turi aroti please menya iroto icio ciothe ni ciaku eheria maundu mothe maria mangiguthukia eheria bangi iyo ona yeru ati ni tumaga mundu angahote gwika maundu ni wega kumenyaga ni kuri na short term and long term consequences ehera ni undu wa long term consequences na nigetha ufocus na dreams ciaku iroto ciaku na cioneki ciaku na maundu maria wiriragiria kugia nie oringi njitagwo Milkah Ndungu ofisi yakwa ikoragwo Kiambu kuria twetaga Kagunda House 5th floor kuu ni kuo ngingora na ugienda kunyita nyambe nguhe namba ya thimu 0727 352 342 0727 352 342 na thiini wa social media no twaranirie na WhatsApp through the same number na YouTube channel yakwa iria hihi ngikorwo ngika maundu 1 2 3 ya Milkah Ndungu iyo niyo YouTube channel yakwa. Thank you muno and ashokia ngatho na thank you muno Kevin nikuhe mweke uyu. God bless you.
Thank you so much. That has been the sober conversation with Milkah Ndungu, who is a counselor and a therapist by profession. Thank you so much for your time, that you created time to listen to this interview. Next week we'll do this same again in the same place. We'll be having conversation, discussing on various topics in the society. Please keep the conversation going on Twitter, on my social handles, and may you enjoy the rest of the week. Do have yourself a blessed evening. I'm Kagunda Kelvin.